Eternal is forever. Salvation, it is moksha or the karma. 6 collections of poetry, 4 essays, 3 plays and collection of short stories. It's only because we don't discriminate in the way we are. If I was a tree, I want to be a tree. I don't want to be like a human being. Hello everyone, I'm Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In my previous session, I had discussed about the chapter Babar Ali. So Babar Ali is the youngest headmaster. At the age of 16. He started his own institution known as Ananda Shikshaniketan, where he gave a free education for the children who were deprived from the basic or the formal education, because the parents couldn't afford the children to pay the fees or for their books because of the poverty. But he wanted to make some changes in Murshidabad in West Bengal. By looking into that, he started his own institution and he had 800 students put together. And the 10 students who came voluntarily to teach in Babar Ali's school. So he started his school at the mere age of 9, and it got institutionalized in the year 2002 by the West Bengal state government. A small boy of 16 years who tried to bring some changes in the West Bengal, and he is inspiration to each and every one. That was about the chapter Babar Ali. In my today's session, I'll be discussing about the poem If I Was a Tree by Murnakudu Chinna Swami. Let's see about the author. Murnakudu Chinna Swami is a well-known poet who hails from Murnakudu village in Chamarajnagar district of Karnataka. He has 2 postgraduate degrees, that is M.Com with MA and Doctorate in Literature in Social Science. He is director in Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation by profession. Poetry is his passion, but has worked in other genre of literature as well, besides having a wide range of interest in culture, theatre and social work. So he has brought out 24 books so far, which include 6 collections of poetry, 4 essays, 3 plays and collection of short stories. He is widely translated into many Indian languages apart from English, Spanish and Hebrew. So let's see the significance of the tree. Why tree is so important? Because the tree is unbiased here. Equality, happiness and non-discriminative society has remained as a dream which cannot be fulfilled at all. We both know each other very well, aren't we? We are familiar with each other. It's only because we don't discriminate in the way we are. There is no discrimination in the education. There is no discrimination in freedom. There is no discrimination in equality. That's what true education is bestowed between all of us. So here, White Tree says that I'm unbiased. So there'll be no discrimination saying that it belongs to the upper caste or the lower caste. Here is the poem, how the untouchables are treated. So the poet says here, I want to be a tree if I was a tree, because the significance of the tree, it contains all the theme in it. It contains all the theme in it. There is no discrimination, or there is no caste or creed, or it doesn't ask which caste you belong to. Tree is stable, fertile and it imbibes nature. What is it? It imbibes the nature. There is no discrimination saying that it is the upper caste, and it is not biased also. The tree wouldn't discriminate the religion or the superior powers. So here the poet wants to be a tree. So the thoughts and belief. The thoughts start from here and it ends from here itself. No one can change your thoughts. We can change your opinion, but not your thoughts. When your thoughts change, and you surely you will believe. If you believe in anything, your thoughts would change. If I was a tree, here the poet says that if I was a tree, if it means to say that the possibility or the probability of being a tree. Why? Because the trees are unbiased. Human beings are not like that. We make lot of discrimination saying that he belongs to the superior power. He is into superior caste. We are into the lower caste. There is all such discrimination. But here, when it comes to this tree, there is no discrimination. So it says that I want to be a tree because the poet is a mouthpiece of untouchability. So he says that if I was a tree, I want to be a tree. I don't want to be like a human being because there are a lot of discrimination. So he says that if I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest. If I was a tree, the bird will never come and ask me, can I build my nestle? What do you mean by nestle here? So we all dwell in the house, that is our home. We have a home to live. In the same way, the bird built the nestle. Nestle is the nest. The bird lives in a nest. It builds its nest. How we have a home, even the birds also have their nestle. So, if I was a tree, even the birds will never come and ask to build its nestle or to build its nest, because I'm not discriminating here, because the tree is not biased, it is unbiased. So it doesn't need anyone's permission to come and build its nest. It is the nature. What caste I am. If the bird wants to build its nest, it will never come and ask me, which caste are you or to which religion do you belong? Are you a Hindu? Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Sikh? Are you a Jain? No, it will never question me which caste you are. But when it comes to the human beings, we just have all such questions. Which caste you belong to? You're into which religion? Who has made this caste? Who has made this religion? It is we human beings have started all such things. But here, the poet says that if I was a tree, even the bird also wouldn't come and ask me which caste do you belong to. It would come and build its nestle. When sunlight embraced me, sunlight is a dawn. Dawn, that is a new day. When the sunlight embraced me, when the new day has embraced in the sense belief, when the new day has come, when I believe that if I was a tree, I'm a tree, but no one will come and question me which caste you belong to. I dawn the new day. My shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My shadow wouldn't feel defiled in the sense here, the superior people, when the lower caste people cross, if their shadow is fallen on the superior people, they feel that they'll never get the salvation. It means to say that moksha, they won't get the moksha because the untouchables have crossed their shadow. So, if the same thing happens with the tree says that no one will come and ask if my shadow has defiled, they'll never question me. But it is in the human beings. If the untouchable's shadow is defiled with the superior people, what they say in this is they will never get salvation or the moksha. My friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Sweet and bitter. So there is a lot of difference here. Friendship. Can you make a friendship with the superior, that is the superior people as well as the untouchables? No, it is like sweet and bitter. It is not possible. The tree says that my friendship is sweet. So it means to say that the trees give shelter. It gives air. It gives shelter to the people. It will never question the people when they come and sit which caste you belong to. But when it comes to the human beings, they are biased, but not the trees here. Trees are not biased. So the poet wants to be a tree. He says, if I was a tree, I would be the happiest one. And the next, divinity and hope. Where you have hope, where you have faith, where you have trust, then surely there's a divinity. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. So, when there is a torrential rain, heavy rain, what the untouchables are supposed to do here. Are they supposed to eat dog eater? What do you mean by dog eater? It means to say that to eat dirt. So when there is a torrential downpour taking me, that is the untouchables, they are asked to eat the dirt. They don't have any work there. And when it pours on the tree will never say not to come back again because it is unbiased. The trees are unbiased. When I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. So here the tree says that when my root goes deep into the earth, into the Mother Earth, when I branch out further from my root to the Mother Earth, it is connected to the Mother Earth. My root, when my root enters into the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth doesn't make any discrimination like caste, creed or culture. All are equal. So it says that the Mother Earth, when my root enters deep into the Mother Earth, she'll never run for a bath. Why? Because she has lots of faith. She trusts. There is a hope. So it means to say that the sacred cow would scrape her body on my back. Sacred cow. So the sacred cow is also worshipped by Hindu as a god. So when the sacred cow would come and scrape her body on my back, when the cow feels that scraping her body, it will just come and rub on my back or on my branches. Scratching whenever it itched. Whenever it starts itching, what this sacred cow will do? They'll just come and scratch their backs on the bark of the tree. And the 300,000 gods sheltering inside her. So here the sacred cow is linked here. What does it says that? It says that when the cow starts scraping its body on her bark, the tree is blessed with 300,000 of gods which has taken shelter in the cow. The poet says that when the cow starts scraping its body, so the tree is blessed with 3,100 gods. And the tree says that when it scrapes its body, I'm blessed because I'm blessed with 300,000 gods who has taken shelter in me. Being very true, it gives me an immense pleasure when the cow scrapes its body. So the poet wants to be a tree instead of a human being. He doesn't like to be a human being because always the untouchables are biased in one or the other way. When it comes to a tree, no one will question him or no one will come and ask which caste you belong to. Or no one will say you're superior, you belong to the upper caste or you belong to the untouchables. No one will come and say anything. Eternal salvation. What do you mean by eternal salvation? What is eternal? Eternal is forever. Salvation, it is moksha or the karma. You mean to say it as karma. So if you have done a good thing, the good thing will come in return. If you have done a bad thing, the worst will return back to you. So it is a karma. What is karma? Karma is a deed. It is a deed. If you have done a good thing, you will get a good thing in return. If you have done a bad thing, in return, you will get a worse thing which happens in your life. Now let's see what is here. Who knows at the end? Who knows? What do you mean by this? Who knows? So here the tree says that once the human beings are dead, they'll be buried. Once they are buried, they will rotten. They'll start stinking. It's not the same thing with me. That is with the tree. So who knows at the end? So once we are dead, will be we human beings are of no use. Because we are buried, once we are buried, we are rotten inside and it starts stinking and it spoils the environment. But is there any useful after we are dead from the human beings? We are of no use. But here, if the trees, when the trees are alive, it gives us shelter, it gives us air, it gives the place where the birds can nestle themselves, that is the home for the birds. Yes, a lot of things when the trees are alive. And if the trees are dead, even then they are useful. So if I ask you to write the difference between the tree and the human being, there are many things to describe, or there are many differences between the trees and the human beings. When the trees are alive, they give us shelter, they give us air, they give shelter to the birds to build its nestle. But we human beings, when we are alive, will just discriminate into asking which caste you belong to, which religion you are into. So for example, if we take an application, when we fill the application form, there also we have saying that gender, caste, religion. Maybe it is only in the application, it is a big question mark. We never know anything about it. So not only that, and if the trees are cut, if the trees are dead, even then the trees are useful in one or the other way. But if the human beings are dead, they are of no use. So it means to say that who knows at the end? Who knows what happens at the end? But human beings will be of no use. But when it comes to the trees are also useful once they are dead. Hacked into pieces of dry wood. So once the tree is dead, it is hacked into pieces. It is cut into pieces for wood. Dried wood in the sense, once it is dead, what happens? Cut the trees into woods. Burning in the holy fire. So once they cut the wood, what happens? How the wood are helpful? To burn the holy fire. Once we are dead, our body will be carried by 4 people. And in what we are buried, if they give, it is buried with the help of firewood. So it says it is the holy fire. The tree is useful for the holy fire also once we are dead. It might be made pure. So it makes me pure, or becoming the buyer for a sinless body, or becoming a buyer in the sense mortal remain. Mortal remain. The wood, once I'm dead, the wood might be used for a holy fire or to become a buyer for a sinless body. So once we are dead, our body will be carried by 4 persons, right? If I'm not wrong, yes, they are carried by 4 persons. So the wood is the mortal remain here. The tree says that I'm a mortal remain to carry the sinless body. We're born on the shoulders of the 4 good men. We are born in the sense we are kept or we are carried. We are carried on the shoulders of 4 good men. So once you are dead, it will be carried by 4 good men. So the 4 corners, you can see the people carrying the mortal one who is dead. So the poet says that the trees are unbiased, where the human beings are discriminating, saying that you're superior, I'm untouchable. So all this discrimination regarding the caste, creed and culture is among the human beings. Who has made all this culture, all this religion or all this caste? It is we human beings. When it comes to the nature, when it comes to the tree, no one is biased here. The trees are unbiased. No one will question him. No one will say that you are untouchable, you belong to that caste. No discrimination is there. So at the end, the poet says that instead of being a human being, I want to be a tree. So he would like to be a tree rather than being a human being, because all such things happens only among the human beings, not between the nature or among the trees here. The glossary is nothing out of the text. Just have a look of these words as well as their meaning. I'll be back with another session with the watchman of the lake. Until then, have a good day. Thank you.